Welcome back to Education 4767 OL. This week I wanted to do a demo or a couple of demos of my own just to highlight a few pieces of software that I didn't necessarily want to turn you loose on without some support. One of the areas that we haven't really touched on and won't be talking too much about, but I did want to highlight, is the area of virtualization and virtual worlds. This is a fairly new topic in education, and it's something that's being really strongly looked at. One of the environments that's being used more and more in education in different areas around the globe is an environment called Secondlife. And basically what it is it's a virtual 3D reality that you can create an avatar in, immerse yourself in, and move around in. Now, as you might imagine, it has some entertainment value for the mass market, but more and more education is looking at this tool in order to create virtual spaces for students to interact with one another. One of the things that we've been talking about a lot in this course is creating a sense of community. Now, there are a lot of things that we can do and that we have been doing, discussion groups, trying to generate authentic discussion and reflection and feedback to help you feel like you're a part of something. Unfortunately, no matter how much we try to do that, you still don't have that feeling of physical proximity to anyone. Enter something like this. So Secondlife is a virtual reality that allows you to roam around a space and experience proximity to people. Now, you're welcome to check out the website, but I want to talk about how this specifically relates to education. I have to admit I've been extremely skeptical of the whole virtual environment, virtual reality type of movement within education. And it wasn't until about a year ago that I really started to see the value in this type of area. I attended a Secondlife conference that was actually put on by ISTE. ISTE has a very strong and rapidly growing Secondlife movement within it. They've actually got trainers who they have brought in who specifically deal with working in the Secondlife environment. And they've actually partnered with a number of other organizations to create a Secondlife educational conference. 2 years ago, it was a 2-day, only during North American daylight hours conference. This past year, it was a 24-hour-a-day, 3-day event that was attended by people from all over the planet. And like I said, I was very, very skeptical of the use of this type of environment to interact with other people. And it wasn't until I actually experienced a series of sessions through Secondlife that I started to see the value of proximity to other people. Not only could you take in a session and watch the PowerPoint slides and listen to the speaker speak, but you could interact with people around you much like you would in a normal classroom. So if you missed something, you could turn to the next person and speak directly to them in a large group environment and say, hey, what was that? I missed it. You could text back and forth to people within the room. And it was a very powerful type of experience for me. I've since gotten a number of people involved that I work with on a day-to-day basis, and we're really starting to see the power of some of this stuff. So without saying too much more about that, I'm going to actually take you into Secondlife and show you a little bit of what it is. So I'm just going to switch over to Secondlife here. Now, this is my avatar. I actually have logged into Secondlife. It has its own piece of software that comes with it that allows you to interact. It's free to set up a username and a password, and that with that, you can create an avatar, which is your physical representation in Second Life. Now, I'm actually at the Isti Island. Within the virtual reality space, organizations are able to purchase pieces of property that they can then put buildings on. They can create learning spaces, all sorts of things. Now, education isn't the only people who want in here. Obviously, there's a huge market for selling things in Second Life. Well, maybe not obviously, but there is, which I was totally amazed by. But there's a lot of currency that changes hands in this environment. Now, you have what are called Linden dollars. Now, those Linden dollars actually have a real world dollar value, so you can purchase Linden credits and then use them in this virtual space. We're not going to talk too much about that because it's beyond the ramifications of what I think we can absorb at this point. I'm actually in the Isti Island, and you'll see they offer speaking series and social events in their virtual space. I can wake myself up and begin to walk around. Now, they've done a pretty good job of actually creating this virtual space. Now, because I'm recording this, it may be kind of jittery and jumpy and who knows what else. Just let that room rebuild itself, and then I'll start to zoom around again. Now, as I was saying, you can see they've done a fairly amazing job of creating a virtual space that would approximate something that we would potentially see in real life. There's tables and chairs that you can actually sit down at. They have a resource room that we can actually go in. Now, you'll see here that there's a bunch of tools that we can actually pick up, media slideshows and speakeasies, and now these are all tools that have been created to allow us to do specific things within Second Life. One thing I want you to notice, they've got a classroom set called Sloodle. Now, what this is it's actually a series of modules that allow Moodle and Second Life to directly interact. And so what that means is you can actually create a virtual Second Life classroom that's directly linked to your Moodle. So you can bring students from Moodle directly into Second Life, put them into a space. They can even take tests or fill out questionnaires or hand in assignments, and those assignments and feedback go directly back into Moodle. It's a really cool type of interaction, but not something that we're going to spend too much time taking a look at here today. We're just going to move around a little bit here. Now, there's lots of really cool things that you can do in Second Life. One of the things is you can actually teleport. So say I wanted to go here. I can double click on it and it will show me where it is, and then I can choose to actually teleport to it, and I moved immediately to that point. Oh, there we go. We got some nice little schwanky music.